Today it seems everything's coming together. Like a lot of different concepts all join at some point. They have this common denominator, common theme. And I wanted to introduce a new project that I've been working on for some time called the Paper Mind Project. And sounds quite technical. Really, basically, the modern age, we've got computers, and we use computers, mobile phones, pocket electronic devices. And we've become more and more reliant on those devices. And for me, as a guitar player, sometimes all I need is a guitar, piece of paper, pencil, and a candle. And a cup of tea, of course. But there's no reason to use computers. And so my idea was how can paper and computers interact? We're very familiar with, I brought some with me, A4 paper, very simple. I like to bring some out of the woods. That's why I bring this wooden board. It's very solid. It can be used for digging and as a table cutting board, but it can be used for writing board. And the paper and the wood can be used for tinder to start fires anyway. I've got a piece of, I don't know if you can see it really there, it's green paper, so if it's too bright in the sunlight it's easier to write. But the idea is to use paper in different ways. And so I started with a simple design of basically folding the paper into into half and half again. You can do it more perfect than this, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then on this you've got a perfect little notepad where you can write. It sits in the hand nicely. You've got different pages. So then I was thinking, what can you do with such a thing? And the power of paper is massive. You can carry a few stamps with you, make an envelope out of this and send it across the world. You can print out, for example, all the emails that you know, from your best friends who are taking a long time. You can print them out and take them out and read them outside. And you can print out calendars and all of these kinds of things that you could get the computer to print out, all of your events, all of your calendars, addresses. You could actually store it on a piece of paper like this. Or one idea is just to simply print out a piece of a story in a piece of a book or something you want to read later on one side, leave the other side blank for notes, and you can rip pieces off for people, or shopping lists, you know, everything that you can use paper with. So if you're out and about and you're on the bus, you've always got something to read, you know, poems or something. And so then I began to think, how can then, when I'm in the woods, can I then write on this, take it home, and simply scan it into the computer, and the computer could recognise then what I'd written. I mean, it is possible. It's a little bit in the future, but it's something I'm looking at. But nevertheless, it's about building a system where the computer can understand the writing. And for example, with the music, there's a way of writing the music down in numbers and a tablet sheet. You draw some lines, and this can be transferred directly to the computer, converted into computer sounds, synthesizer sounds, and played back. So you could literally write a song in the pencil and paper and have the computer convert it for you. Maps, for example, you know, I don't know if it's legal, but I think for private use it's okay to go on Google Maps or something, or one of the map sites, take a screenshot, print it out on a piece of paper of your local area, and you've got a map on one side. You can you know, put some plastic coating over that side if you want, and you've always got a map of your own little hometown. Good, you know, I've got several of these. I've got some computer programs set up for printing out information and printing out things in easy ways. And I'll go into that when I'm back in the studio at some other point. But I wanted to share that with you, because the idea of bringing paper out into the forest, or just having paper anywhere. Sorry, I'm burping off this tea while talking. The idea of having paper, you know, you can make origami flowers. You can make presents for people. You can, you know, there's a whole lot you can do with paper. Imagine printing out your emails and then writing the response on the paper, scanning it in, and the computer then doing a recognition and then sending that automatically. So you've literally got a laptop, like a computer, on paper, if you see what I mean. It's an input and output device. It doesn't need batteries. It's, you know, so Morse code, things like that, you know, you can store on there, and you don't need to learn it if you're ever stuck out and about. You can revise these kind of things. So I like to use A4 paper. It makes me a bit angry to see commerce, you know, paper misused in commerce, just bills and indictments and you know, laws and all of this lot, just wasting up good paper, really. So I'm glad we're moving into the electronic age, so that the whole commercial misuse of paper and ink can be wiped out once and for all, because paper really should be for maps and poetry and literature and notes and things for the humans, you know. Like I said before, there's a massive tendency for all of our data formats to go into a computer format, which is not non-human readable. And so we're developing human readable formats. For example, everybody knows text, like normal text, Notepad. Anything you can read in there, you can make the computer read. So if you can read it and the computer can read it, you can edit it in Notepad easily. But then when you get these special softwares, these proprietary softwares that have got a license, you know, and are protected formats, they tend to use encrypted formats. So when you make a song or you create a document, it's created in their format, and so you're dependent on their company to read it, and you just basically lose dependence. And so while I'm out in the woods, it's nice to be able to play and write and sing and write poetry and really just use paper like that. So yeah, if you've got any thoughts on ways of using paper, write them in the comments box. You know, what different amazing ways there are, or what your general thoughts are about paper, as an artist or as a writer or as a lawyer. Paper and ink is a very powerful thing. At first we have the dream, and then we have the thought, and we can get the images and we can put them onto paper, and then we get logos and words that we can put onto paper that give that even more understanding and meaning. So the power of actual ink and paper is far more than we're actually often seeing. We think that the power's in the technology, but the technology only transfers the concept of light and sound and these things. Anyway, yeah, I always get complicated like that, so I'm just going to continue to chill. Maybe write a tune. Enjoy my drink.